Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a product review of this right here, Campark ACT ACT 74, right? It's like a GoPro. I'm going to tell you, it is a really good camera. The only thing is, which I'm not an expert, but, you know, when you're in really bright light, like outside, like it is now, maybe you get a little grainy on the higher resolution, like if you're out doing 4K, you know, or 2.7K, and even on the 1080p, you kind of get some grain, but you can change the exposure manually. I'm not a photographer, so I don't pretend to be. I leaves everything all on auto, and I don't have a problem, especially inside, with a bit of light. Fluorescent light does kind of give that flickering thing. But I'll just read to you what, you know, it is. So let me have a taste of coffee here. Oh, yeah. So, it's got a waterproof case. You know, it takes 16 megapixels. Yeah, 16 megapixels, I guess it is. It's got up to a range of 170 degrees HD lens. Low consumption. You can record as it's charging. You get about 90 minutes with the Wi-Fi turned on. Battery is removable. You get two in this case, two batteries. You get a lot of accessories. It supports up to a 32 gig max memory card. Video resolution 4K 30 frames per second, 2.7K 30 frames per second, 1080p 60 frames, 1080p 30 frames, 720p 90 frames, 720p 60 frames, and 720p 30 frames a second. H.264 video recording, I think that's like MP4. That's the compression rate, I think. That's what that means. Don't quote me on that. You can, for photography patterns, I guess it's common, timing, automatically, and sports trail. The video, you can have common, loop, or slow motion. It's easy to carry and supports upgrade. So that is what the camera is. This there I'll just show you rather than, because some of it is not in the box anymore, because I've had the camera for a year and a half. So like that's some of the, I don't know if you can, but you know, and a little bit on this side. So it comes with these accessories that you can put together for different applications, right? Like I said, it comes with two batteries and a lot of accessories. Any cons with this camera? I mean, no. Is it as good as a GoPro Black or GoPro whatever? No. But it's also a fraction of the price. I mean, this was on sale. I think it was $80. And you get everything in the box, two batteries and so on. So I'm going to have to say, why would I buy a GoPro? You know, just for what I want to do, right? The quality is good, like I said. It takes good pictures. It is slow on the upload, like when you put it into your computer. You know, but I mean, okay, I just give you this. I've uploaded, you know, all the videos, and they've been 7 gigabytes, right? And it probably took 5 minutes. I'm guessing 7 gigabytes in 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, something like that. I'm not so busy anymore that I can't wait 5 minutes. But you know, I mean, if that's a big problem for you and you got the 3.0 USB, then fine. But get something better if that's something you consider. I don't, but I'm going to give you some footage. I'm going to give you 4K, 2.7K, and a 1080p 60 frames, and then I'm just going to drop down right to the bottom and give you 720 30 frames, I think it is. So I'll do that, but I'm trying to think about any cons to this. The only con is it didn't come with the strap if you want to put it on your forehead, but it came with the helmet strap and the sticker on the back and the mounts. But I mean, for $50 you can go on Amazon and get the chest thing, and you know, whatever you're into, whatever tickles your fancy, right? But for me, I love this camera. It's small, lightweight, and yeah. So like I say, I'll cut now to giving you some footage of the actual GoPro itself. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I much appreciate it. The channel is doing very well. It's slow but growing, and that's all that matters. More importantly is the comments from you guys. I just love them. And so let's go now to the video.
So what you see here is that it is a little grainy, and it is at 720/30. But if you don't set your exposure, you will get this with this camera. So overall the footage is pretty good, considering it was a very bright day, and I should have added on a negative exposure. 4K should be coming up here. This is 4K, as you can see when I was telling you that the exposure, you know, really plays havoc with the 4K. Normally it takes a pretty good video, but you do really have to focus on your exposure. The 2.7 normally is pretty good at 30 frames per second. But on this particular day, you can tell that it was very bright, the same as the 4K. And that's right, you know, you got to change your exposure. You'll hear that quite a bit. Coming up is the fire pit here, and this is 1080p, 60 frames per second. And you know, if you're holding a camera, you know, you want the usually the higher frame rate, but it's not too bad, as you can see here. Pretty good quality. Like I say, I'm not an expert photographer, so you know, adjusting the settings well. .720 90 frames per second. Not too bad. So folks, I hope this helped you out to make a decision if you wanted to get this camera. I know it's not any fancy work, but I tried to give you a pretty good, honest review of this camera. So I don't think it did it justice. I should have played with the exposure, and overall it does have a pretty good video quality inside, more so than outside. Thanks guys.